I don't know how much you've gotten to look around at all yet, but have you seen any penguins in it?
I have not seen any penguins yet, although someone just came up to me and said, your doppelganger is running around out there. It's a small kid, fully in the whole garb and everything, and I'm like, I told my friend, I was like, you have to find him. Bring him to me. Bring me the child. Yeah.
Can you talk about physically changing into the penguin?
Yeah, totally. It's amazing. Like, I've never played a character before that has had where like the physical transformation has been so intense. Like, I've generally played characters that, that look more like me, or more or less, or, and then this is just such a, departure, from, how I look normally. I hope people see that. But anyway, the most brilliant thing is that it really helps me as an actor get into the skin of the character, because it's like the actual physical transformation, going through makeup for 45 minutes to an hour every day, going through hair for another like 30 minutes to an hour, and then on top of that the costumes that have been like made for me, like it's putting the pieces on, and then putting on the shoes. I have the bottle cap in the shoe, to keep the limp in my body and in my mind, and it really it's an amazing tool to have as an actor, because it really does help me get into his skin. And then when we're done and we wrap, the makeup comes off, I wash my hair, I take this stuff on, and then it's just like literally like putting him away and bringing him back, and it's actually become kind of therapeutic in a way. Like it's a really interesting transition. It's like one of my favorite things about playing the character, actually. So, yeah, that is.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you talk about the journey he's going on in his final arc, especially in relation to Fish?
Yes, sure. So as we've seen through the whole season, he's gradually, bit by bit, he's been asserting himself as his own man, and his end goal is to not have to answer to anybody, to be his own boss. And we've seen that like in the pilot when he goes behind Fish's back, and they have their thing, and then we see it when he aligns himself with Moroni, goes behind his back, is working with Falcone the whole time. What we're going to see in the final four is the final push, and what he set some things in motion that affect everyone in the show. Like everyone in the show will be affected by what he does in the last 4 episodes, and it really is like his final assertion to being his own boss, to being his own man, and it's crazy. I don't know what else to say, because I can't get too specific, but and Fish is a huge part of that. Like she, but it's interesting, and it also really brings to the forefront, hopefully this is what people will see, is the complexity of their relationship. Like, I know that that they are arch enemies, and but at the same time he has affection for her, because he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for her. He learned everything about Gotham City, about the underbelly of Gotham City. He learned it from her, and all of the rules and all of that. So he does have reverence for her and really does care about her. So you'll see there's conflict there that is also going to be eliminated in the last 4 episodes.
Are there other characters that you haven't got a whole lot of time to play around with in the episodes so far that you do spend more time, or are there new characters that come in to challenge you? Yeah, I mean, they give us a list of things like that to say specifically. But one thing I will say is there are a couple characters. There's one character in particular that he is introduced to. They're like introductions, and there's no real intense relationships, because he has so many loose ends that he has to tie up with other characters that we've already established, but yeah, that's all I can say. I'm sorry.
Good one to end on.
Oh man. Sorry.
So what's Edward Enigma like then?
he's amazing. Like that's the thing is that like I just want more scenes with Enigma because I just think like the dynamic between Oswald and Edward is one of my favorite ones that I've played so far on the show. They're both so strange and they're both coming at it from such different directions, but I think that there's like, you know, there's electricity there that like, and then, you know, that's another thing that you'll see is Edward he's changing. So, and I don't know, that's all I'll say.